Hello, and welcome to the Charlotte Legacy League, Show and Tell versus the Epic Storm. We have Corey Skinnin versus Matthew Story. Matthew's going to mulligan to 6, Corey kept 7, and Corey is on the play. Corey leads off on an island, passes back to Matt. Matt leads with a City of Brass, taps it, takes a damage, makes any color he wants, casts a Rite of Flame, which will put 2 red mana into his mana pool, and the storm count is at 1. Looks like we may have an early storm here. Cast another Rite of Flame, which will cost him 1 red mana, but put 3 into his mana pool at this point. Storm is now at 2. Chrome Mox makes Storm 3. We may see a Galvanic Relay here. Can't do very much with it with only 1 artifact out. And, alright, well, now we have a Chrome Mox. Storm count goes to 4. He can choose to imprint something out of his hand, or not, just for a storm count. He is very good at flicking his cards. Alright, Corey will force the Chrome Mox, so nothing gets imprinted. It does increase the storm count again to 5, and we will see a Galvanic Relay for 6 here, using the floating red mana. So, you can't use those cards on the next turn, but they are exiled. So, let's see, he puts them up top there. He's got Dark Ritual, a Wishcall Talisman, a Veil of Summer, LED, and 2 Mana Confluences. Corey just wants to get a better idea what he's going up against this turn, or his coming turn. Now again, none of those are castable until Matt's next turn. Matt passes back to Corey. Corey brainstorms, looks to the top 3. He's got a lot to think about with what he's got going on. With Matthew having a Veil of Summer, that definitely curbs what Corey can do. Matthew still only has 1 artifact. He'll have 2 with the LED, so he won't quite have Metalcraft available yet. I'm not sure what he drew there. Alright, so Mana Confluence return, which works just like a City of Brass. LED, storm counts 1. 2 artifacts in play. He does have the Wish Claw, so he can play the Wish Claw, which will give him Dark Ritual, storm counts 2, 3 black mana. But if he plays the Wish Claw, that will turn on Metalcraft on the Opal, which he does play the Wish Claw with the 2 mana floating, with 1 black floating, storms at 3. Looks like Corey has a Force of Will in his hands, trying to decide what is most important to force, but with the Veil of Summer, it's not that easy because he has 2 mana available, and he goes to force pitching the Daze. Matthew casts the Veil of Summer, which will counter that, and then allow him to draw another card. Let's see here. It's like he can't cast the Confluence, so he goes and exiles it out of the way. He's trying to decide what he's going to do. Uses a blue mana available and brainstorms. It's like storm count is now at 5. Looks like he finds a brainstorm, a dark ritual, and a land. Puts that back. He has 1 black floating. Casts a petal, which is great because gives him another one. Another dark ritual off the black mana. Gives him 3 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Storm count. Cracks the LED. Discarding something out of his hand. I can't tell. Activates a Wish Call Talisman, and he'll go get Ad Nauseam Tendrils? Or, not Ad Nauseam, Tendrils of Agony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. LED. Mind's Desire. Okay, we're going to see a Mind's Desire for 8, it looks like. So I'm going to randomize the deck. Good thing to know is you don't have to randomize every single time you flip one off. You can absolutely randomize one time, and as long as you don't cast a spell in between each Mind Desire, you can just take one off the top and continue to take one off the top until then. Looks like Corey wants to cut in between each one to just randomize a little bit more. Not something you have to do unless, again, a spell is cast that reconfigures the library, such as a brainstorm. We've got some pretty good cards there. All of these are castable without actually having to pay any mana, which is great because he has the Burning Wish with another Mind's Desire as well. Storm count is getting up there to where it doesn't really matter anymore, except if he Mind's Desires. Looks like he found another Chrome Mox. Relay doesn't do anything. He does have Echo, though. It does increase Storm count. He has Echo that he can cast for free, which is great with the Mind's Desire. So he could Echo now, still under protection of the Veil of Summer. He has mana for days. I think he just goes for the Tendrils kill here. Yep, that's what he does. Looks like he's got more than enough to handle that. Corey joyfully knocking himself out of the game there with the life pad. And here's Corey's main deck here, and then his sideboard, which to note is 3 Trinispheres, which is a very good card against Storm, as we know. And I believe he also has 2 Flusterstorms that he will bring in. Corey keeps 7, Matthew keeps 6, and Corey's on the play again. It's Corey playing Show and Tell, which is one of the main decks that he plays. Looks like he has a land there, Show and Tell in hand, a Simian Spirit Guide. So he may be able to move quickly through this and get a Show and Tell off early if he has a payoff in his hand as well. Crack the polluted delta to find a volcanic island. Pitch Simian Spirit Guide, and he's got the Show and Tell. Let's see what payoff he has in his hand. A Grizzlebrand, which is very good. So Corey will immediately press the button and draw 7, losing 7 life to do so. Finds the Lotus Petal and another Lotus Petal, which is fantastic. I wonder if he drew a Flusterstorm or not. Passes back to Matthew, who put in a Wishclaw Talisman off the Show and Tell. And the Scrubland in play. Taking a few minutes to decide here. Looks like he has 2 LEDs in his hand as well. So he's got mana. Leads off with the Mox Opal. And then LED Storm counts at 2. Metalcraft is on. LED Storm counts at 3. Use the Opal to cast a Rite of Flame. Storm counts at 4. 2 red in the pool. They're discussing what Wishclaw does and how it works. Going over to Corey if he were to activate it. It does have 3 counters on it. Got a Chrome Mox. Storm counts at 5. He chooses not to imprint on the Mox. He's going to crack both LEDs for 6 blue mana. Pitching the Wishclaw. He's going to activate his Wishclaw. Pass that over to Corey. 6 blue mana in the pool. Imagine he goes for a Mind's Desire here with Storm count on 5. And he does. And he has 1 red and 1 blue floating. Mind's Desire, Storm count at 6. Corey brainstorms, which will put the storm count at 7, which is important if he finds a Flusterstorm, because he does have 2 mana available to pay for at least 2 Flusterstorms, and he does have the Fluster, so that puts a storm count of 8 up. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 6 Mind's Desires on the stack. And Corey just Flusterstorm for 8. 2 of those can be paid for with the mana that he has available. So Corey will have to decide where to double up on the Flusters. But Matthew should be able to pay for 2 of his Mind's Desires to go off. But we won't see a card flipped until those have been chosen. So 2 cards will be able to come off the top. So literally the lottery here. He could flip a Mind's Desire, which would be insane. He could also flip, with Corey being at 12, if he flipped the Tendrils, it would be an automatic kill, no matter what. A Galvanic Relay would put him into the tank for next turn, but Corey has a chance to attack and draw more answers. He also still has the Wishclaw Talisman available as well to find some answers as well. So, very interesting here. They're using cards to dictate how many Mind's Desires are out in silver, and then or how many spells are available to be cast, and then we're using red to dictate how many Flusterstorms are on the stack as well. So they're stacking them up to show who pays for what. Doesn't really matter which 2 it is, because those will automatically be countered. And then Matthew will be able to pay for 2 of them. Corey fires off a Daze too early because Matthew hasn't decided what he's paying for yet. So he'll just does another one. So Matthew can still pay for 2 and have 2 flip. I think that was a little early for Corey on that. But we'll see. Especially, he could have saved that Daze for a Brainstorm or another Wishclaw or something like that that would come off the top. But that does happen. Corey making sure he has the right cards because he... Alright. Okay, great. Because he uses Sideboard to make sure. Alright, so there's a Brainstorm that could have been dazed if Corey would have held that back. So Matthew's going to choose to draw 3 here with 1 Mind's Desire trigger still in the stack. It also puts another Storm count out. So for a Galvanic Relay or another Mind's Desire off the top, that could be very important. Alright, so we'll put the Brainstorm back and shuffle. Alright, Corey realizes he has the wrong cards in his hand from the sideboard. And a Chrome Mox. He plays that, and that will be the turn for Matthew here. Corey untaps. So he has 1 mana, 2 mana. He pushes the button to lose 7 life to draw 7 cards. And he sends a pawn. Oh. Let's see what he does here. Oh, he's using the Wishclaw. At this point, I believe... he's trying to decide what he wants to do. Alright. He's checking his sideboard, see what he sided in. Alright, yes, he's going to activate the Wishclaw with the island. I imagine he's going to get a Trinisphere here, which will basically lock this game up. City of Traders into Trinisphere. He doesn't know what's in his hand, but he has no mana available to and no blue mana to daze or force a will or anything like that. So I think Corey has this here once he plays the City of Traders and the Trinisphere. City of Traders, Trinisphere. Attacks for 7. He gains 7 life. Alright, Matthew's going to pack it up with the Trinisphere on the board. Here's Matthew's the Epic Storm deck, and then his sideboard will be up next. I can speculate that he brings in Thoughtseize and maybe Echoing Truth now, maybe at least one, to get a Trinisphere off the board if need be. Corey went to 6, and Matthew kept a 7, which is never a good sign when a Storm player keeps 7. That is always terrifying. Leads off with an LED, a Lotus Petal, Storm counts at 2, a Chrome Mox, Storm counts at 3, see if he imprints. Looks like he has a Burning Wish there to imprint. Yeah, he's going to imprint the Burning Wish. He's going to cast a Dark Ritual. Storm counts at 4. 3 black mana in the pool. Red. And a Galvanic Relay for 5. That's not a bad start for next turn, especially with an LED out. It is a horrible 5. You can't play the land this turn because it's not until his next turn that he can cast the spells. He's pulled a Dark Ritual and a Rite of Flame off the top. So he's going to crack the LED. Oh, he has an Echo in his hands. So if he casts the Echo, that puts our Storm count up to 6. And he gets a redraw. Echo is exiled, of course, because it was flashback from the graveyard. And again, he can't cast the Dark Ritual or the Rite of Flame until next turn. So I wonder if he's going to... I guess it depends on what he draws off his 7, where he goes from here. I saw a Trinisphere in Corey's hand there. Alright, looks like there's a two Veil of Summers. Kind of hard to see. He does find a City of Brass and passes the turn. Wow, okay. Corey was given a fresh 7 into a Trinisphere. Wow, that is really good. Matthew can cast 1 spell, which is a Burning Wish. Prismatic Ending, that makes sense. Well, the game is still on with a Prismatic Ending in hand. Well, he has 3 mana available to cast a Force of Will if he has it. Matthew with 4 mana in play. Can only choose to do 1 at a time. Plays the Wishclaw Talisman. Okay. Takes the damage from the City of Brass. Passes the turn. Looks like Corey just picked up a sneak attack. Floats to colorless, fetches. This game is not over. Plays a sneak attack. Have to wait the next turn to see if he has a payoff for it or not. To note, he does have enough mana to Prismatic Ending the sneak attack instead of the Trinisphere if he thinks that's the bigger threat. But he chooses the Trinisphere. Okay. So I think he might be hoping to go somewhere from here, maybe. It's like he's got a Mind's Desire in hand, a Petal. So storms on 2. Rite of Flame, storms on 3, 2 red. That is very dangerous, because he can go get a payoff with that talisman next turn. All right. LED storms at 4. Veil of Summer storms at 5. And then, oh, that was an echo of Aeon's, not a Mind's Desire. Alright, gonna get a fresh 7 here. It's like we've got 1 blue floating, and storm counts on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Storm counts on 6. You may have missed a storm there with that echo. I have to go back and watch that and see. But he is under the guise of Veil of Summer, so no counter spells will work for Corey here. He just has to hope he doesn't have it, which, in my experience, they've always fucking got it. But we'll see what happens. Let's see. Alright, there's an Opal up to 7. LED up to 8. He's got a Burning Wish. 1 blue floating and an Opal available. It's like he's going to Burning Wish 9 storm. We're going to spin the wheel again, it looks like. That'll make 10 storm. Alright, well, here we go. It's a really nice storm counter, so it makes it very easy to keep up with while we're doing this. He has played his land for turn. His Petal was at 11. So he has a Rite of Flame in his hand and another Burning Wish. I don't think that's enough. Corey has access to the Talisman if he doesn't have a payoff in his hand after drawing 14 cards. Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He currently has 6 permanents. That's supposed to be an exile, Corey, not in your graveyard. 6 permanents, so Annihilator. Nope. Don't. Oh wait, no, he hasn't done his land drop yet. That's my mistake. He's on his turn 4. Corey played a City of Traders, which sacrificed. That was my bad. Alright, Rite of Flame, 2 red, 12 storm. Just not quite enough mana. Looks like he has maybe a Chrome Mox in his hand as well. So that would give him 4 mana. Oh, it looks like he's packing it up because Corey tells him he's going to use the Wish Claw, go get it. The Emrakul, and that's it. Guys, have a good night.